Hi Lucy, good morning. My friend got me these socks for my birthday. They got Lucy on them. Whenever I try to do anything like this, Lucy runs away, so we'll see if she's down to, yep. So Lucy is in my laundry basket. Oh gosh, I put everything over there so that it wasn't in the frame, but I kept this in the frame, my coffee and a little ambiance that I'm gonna put on for us today. Maybe I'll move this out here. Move this right there. Hello everyone! How's it going? I feel like it's been a while since we last spoke, and I wonder about you. I wonder how your week's been going. Good, bad, what are the ups, what are the downs? Overall, I hope that you're doing good, learning stuff, doing things. Lucy! Meow. So my week has been pretty good. Last weekend I went up north to northern Michigan over here and went skiing. I actually didn't go skiing, but friends of mine did. But I just enjoyed time with friends, time away from home, and actually did enjoy it. I usually get separation anxiety from my kitty cats, but this weekend I was very trusting. I had a loved one come visit the kitties, and so I don't know. Anyways, that's big for me because I worry about the cats dying or the house catching on fire. Who knows? Or me dying. Like really out there things. And learning to calm myself down from those big fears has been a process, and I'm very proud of myself for just going up and enjoying myself rather than worrying about that. But anyways, it was a good time. One thing that did happen while I was away is my morning routine went out the window. And that's something that I've been really cultivating since moving into this home, especially. I have had a intermittent, like sometimes it was on, sometimes it was off morning routine. Sometimes it was like this, sometimes it was like that morning routine for a long time, for years. But since being in this house, I've really tried to solidify my mornings and get into my mornings things that I need to do in order to feel like I've taken care of myself for the day, and accomplish them all in the morning, so that even if the whole rest of the day goes to crap, at least I did my morning routine. At least I took care of myself in these simple ways. And so I want to give a few tips because someone did recently ask, what do you do to be able to actually stick to your morning routine? Because I want one, but then I don't actually stick to it. Lucy is going to the bathroom, so I hope you can't hear it. And there's also someone like using a saw outside, so. Pharaoh. Hi kitty cat, welcome back. Welcome home, honey. So, to generalize, instead of starting and sticking to a morning routine, we can generalize this conversation as to starting and sticking to new habits. However, the first tip I have for starting and sticking to new habits generally is to do so within the context and framework of a morning routine. Or I suppose an evening routine, because I know some people don't have the luxury of, I don't know, before work doing stuff. But I don't know, what if you have a bad day at work, you know? And what if your day could have gone better had you set your mind in the morning towards a more like positive and meaningful, purposeful direction, intention, and put love and care into your physical body, into perhaps your spirituality, your faith in the world, in life, in humanity, in yourself, tended to your emotions, you know. So I think that the morning is an optimal time to incorporate lots of self-care and habits into our life. So, a morning routine. Best way to start the day and incorporate new habits into your life. But how do we start that? And how do we keep it going? Well, slowly, okay? That is my number one tip for you is to start slow and let it grow. And this is one of those tips that sounds so simple, but there's really no magic to starting and sticking to habits. It's just, you start them. And the trick is, if I had to say there's any trick, is to start them and then continuously start them, aka stick to them. And then tack on to that habit. So once you've consistently done one thing, like drink water, and take vitamins, you know, and start really slow. And maybe start with habits that are already sort of a part of your life. So if you already have some sort of an exercise routine, start your morning with that habit and add on taking vitamins or add on journaling. Wow, you look so regal. So what I mean by that is, take for example how I left this weekend and I came back and my morning routine is like it never existed. You know how that feels? How like you've got a routine going, you've got a habit going, and then you just stop, maybe because you're like, oh, I just want to take today off. And then you take tomorrow off. And then you take the rest of, you know, what seems like forever off. And it seems like that never happened in the past. Exercising is a newer thing for me to incorporate into my life, a newer habit to reincorporate, because in high school I did exercise all the time, but then, you know, it took some years off and now I'm getting back into it. Anyways, working out is a little bit more of a new thing that if I fall off for a few days, it's harder to get back on the wagon. And so yesterday, on Monday, I came home and just laid my mat out because I knew I wanted to do yoga, but at the same time I had this resistance within me that didn't want to. So I did one small thing. I laid out my mat and I laid there and I put on a video and tried, didn't feel like it, sat down, and being completely honest, that's all that happened. That's all that happened. But afterwards I told myself that was a good thing. I was like, you know, at least I rolled out my mat and I did like 3 bits of movement. And really the point of a morning routine is, and any habit, I'm thinking, is to make us feel good. Ultimately, even the unhealthy people in our life, everybody just wants to feel good. They don't want their life to be crappy, you know, they want it to feel good. And beating ourselves up about not doing our habits, not doing our morning routine, not being perfect, that's the opposite, right? In our relationships, we want love, but if there's a lack of love, beating the other person up or beating yourself up for the relationship not being that way is actually the opposite of what we want. And so appreciating what is there, even if it's small and seemingly insignificant, that appreciation is a step in the right direction, and so is this small step. So start small, start slow, and let it grow. And so yesterday all I did was roll out my mat. Today I rolled out my mat and I did just like some stretchiness compared to last week when I was doing like a full-on yoga flow as well as a like 10-minute more workout session. That seems insignificant, but you know, it's all good. It's all good, right, kitty? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap. Okay, another tip that I have about starting and sticking to new habits is that is the way to do it, rather than first try to eliminate bad habits, unhealthy habits, habits that don't make you feel good, that do the opposite. That maybe at a time did make you feel good, but over time they've become maladaptive, like unhealthy, destructive, disorienting, distracting in your life. Rather than try to weed out those first, start new habits first. And also, if you do want to really cut out a negative habit, start with ones that are a little bit easier. And also, you know, start slow and let that grow. grow. For example, you know, social media, it's an addictive thing, and really an addiction is something that meets a whole lot of needs all in one go. So that meets like our dopamine going up, social media does. It meets connection in a superficial way, both of these in superficial ways. And it meets our need for like entertainment and fun. It meets our need for like learning and growth and maybe sharing. Like social media, yeah, it can be addictive. And anything in your life that is addictive, like it's a bad habit that you want to stop doing, perhaps think of it that way. Like, what need is this meeting? And maybe think, how else can I meet that need? And maybe that's the new habit that you can incorporate into your life rather than trying to pick this one off. Like, meet that need elsewhere first, and then allow that to slowly be disciplined and weeded out of your life. But first, cultivate this. I say do one thing at a time. Start slow, let it grow. It will grow. And to grow, you gotta consistently show up. So that's another tip, but we all know that one. But I swear, show up with just one thing, or two things, or three things. Probably no more than three things. And let it grow. Let it grow, let it solidify. Everything starts out as a beginning, you know, and then there's a growth period. And we all want to start in this expert phase, and that's just not how it works. So start small, start slow, let it grow. And the last tip that I'm going to be sharing today involves why habit formation is an important thing. So harnessing your free will allows you to be a better creator of your life rather than a victim in your life, like at the whim of everyone else's seemingly harnessed free will and at the will of nature, rather than being like thrown around in the storm of everything that's going on around us. Building a habit helps us harness our free will and be more of the creator of our reality. Stand tall and firm in who we are amidst the storm, amidst, you know, all the wind that is life, that is everyone else's actions of nature and society. I've had a conversation recently with a friend who says that they don't believe that we have much free will at all. And my whole personal philosophy is the opposite of that, is realizing that we do have free will and really learning to harness that. And one thing that they said that I did really love and stand behind is that in moments of more survival needs, when we're really hungry, when we really gotta go to the bathroom, when we're really tired, when we're really cold, when we're really hot, in moments of really like primal survival need, our free will goes out the window. All we're thinking about is eating or resting, getting warm, getting cold, narrowing in on the hunger example. When we're really hungry, we're not thinking, I want to eat this particular food because I know that it actually makes me feel good, you know, rather than like this food that just fills me up and like tastes good in the moment but actually then makes me feel really lethargic afterwards and builds fat in my body rather than like nutritionalizes me and gives me protein and minerals and, you know, all the things that I'm not a nutritionist and I can't properly say about. You know, we're not thinking about that if we're really hungry and chronically not taking care of ourselves, you know? Like, if our body is not sure that habitually we are taken care of, we are more at the whim of these primitive flares of need that arise within us and kind of take over. Making habits out of taking care of ourselves and meeting those needs before they become this issue, and meeting those needs over and over and over again so that we can predict that in the future they will be met. We know we can better harness our free will and better act intentionally and in alignment with what we want, which is to feel good, simply put. So I think that's why it's important to start habits and make them a priority to you, is because if you've chronically felt unsafe, felt not good, and haven't prioritized meeting your needs and don't know if you'll ever be able to prioritize your needs, you're just not really in control. Your free will definitely is diminished, and harnessing that like a horse and like telling it where to go, it's just a different way to live life. It's completely different and possible and good. So that is why habits are important, in my humble opinion. Let me know if you have more to add to the conversation. I'd love to hear about that. But I think this is good to keep in mind, the why behind what you're doing, so that you're not just like in the moment trying to do a new habit, trying to start a morning routine, thinking like, ugh, what am I doing? You know, like, first of all, you're trying to feel good, and your energy right now is not in line with feeling good. How can I feel good again? And why do I want to feel good? Oh, so that I can, you know, be even more in control of my life and be the creator of my reality and create a good reality, in one that I feel good, you know? Feel good inside and let that just radiate outwards. So you guys get what I'm saying. My words are starting to get all like artistic, vague, and so I think it's time for me to go. I'm gonna make myself some breakfast because, like I said in a vlog a few moons ago, if I don't eat breakfast, even if I'm not hungry, then later on in the day I get tired or I get cranky or something. And so it's important for me to, you know, balance listening to myself, being intuitive about how I'm eating and living, with discipline, with, I know that if I don't do this thing, this happens, and so I need to do the thing, okay? I need to. So I'm gonna go protein. That's something that, like, I just intuitively know, like, I need lots and lots of protein. I need more protein. So I'm gonna go eat some, I don't know what I'm gonna eat. Beans? Beans on toast? I love beans on toast. And drink some water. And get going to work. So thanks so much for listening today. I wish you all the best of luck in incorporating new habits into your life and maybe morning routines into your day. And that's all I have to say. Thanks again. Take care, friend.